Well then, let's get into the game we have been talking about an awful lot tonight. Cooler versus Xron. We're going to be kicking this one off. Dan, I'm excited for it. I love watching Cooler play, and I also am a bit of a Xron fanboy. I love his mouse mat. It's a good meme.
Fair enough. I mean, and there are valid reasons to like people.
They're acceptable reasons, right?
Yeah.
You know, we all enjoyed his mouse mat when we saw it in Poland. I feel like it's pretty strong.
If I'm honest, I can't remember. I just mean, was
Do
it
you-
like anime or something?
No, it had a picture of his cat. It was a massive like QCK heavy with his cat all over it.
Oh, no, I remember. Yeah, that's pretty funky.
It's
No, I
pretty.
mean, he's a fun guy. He's a
He
fun
is.
guy.
He is. That's my favorite type of mushroom. Let's get straight into the veto though, Daniel.
Yeah. I haven't got it up actually. 1 second. My bad. Um,
You naughty
you, you
man.
you you can talk through it while it's loading on my screen.
That's all right. I will do. Well, so it looks like we're going to be starting this one off over on Blood Run. So now Cooler has gone for the pick on the Slash. We do have Xron on the Nyx. That's quite fun. It's not very often we see the double lights.
No, it is interesting. The mirror matchup. It's also can't think of the last time I saw Cooler play a Slash, if I'm completely honest. So I'm very interested to see how he utilizes that champion. As we saw on the previous map, it's not always the strongest map to use such a pick on, but interested to see how Cooler innovates that. Whereas Nyx is pretty much Dron's staple, and again, it's a very very strong map for that champion.
Hmm. And then straight into Sarnath, it appears like we're going to have a visor for Cooler with the old bull rushy boy coming through for Zron. That's a bit of flavor thrown in.
Little bit. Neither one have particularly advantages in terms of maneuverability. I would say Scalebearer is slightly so more. If you can play him well, he can actually move like a tank. I mean, the reason why obviously Visor's so strong on that map is that you've got almost perfect vision of your opponent, and there's again a good amount of vials to get hold of. But funky stuff can happen when you're stacked like a Scalebearer and charge around the map as well.
Yeah, I mean, at least there's so much open space that potentially for Cooler, if he gets that, that active off at the right time, he could do an awful lot of damage with the rail. That could be the one benefit. But other than that, both fairly interesting picks on Sarnath. And then finally, Blood Covenant to round us out, which is Cooler's Eisen facing off versus the Anarchy of Zron.
I think I've seen Cooler pick Ison on Blood Covenant a few times. I've seen a few players pick it a few times on Blood Covenant. I have never seen anything entirely unique for why you can use it or why you would want to use it. There's obviously some really good open spaces to utilize the turret, but once again, it's just a pretty standard comfort pick, if you will. And Anarchy is something that Ron has always played, no matter if this champion is perceived as strong or not, and he knows how to do that extremely well. Once he finds his groove, or if he finds his groove, that's where it can become really dangerous, as he is able to fly around that map and get his rail game on.
Oh yeah. Oh, he is indeed. I hope we get to see some true Zron here on display as well, because he does pack a punch. He is damn good. When we see him, his sort of true power level, I feel like that's been a little bit of a blip and few and far between in recent memory, which is a shame, really.
Feels like he normally turns up for the bigger matchups, and then when it gets
Yeah.
to people he might feel like he should be beating, that's when he drops maps here or there, drops points here or there. But I don't know. Cooler's always a different ask. Yes, he hasn't been playing as well as he traditionally would, but you have to be playing exceptional to try and actually take even a map off him.
He looks so happy in that veto picture as well. I've just
He does,
realized.
yeah.
He's so pleased with himself. Well, let's see if he's going to be pleased with this series, Dan, as we are ready to kick this one off, it seems. Blood Run to start. The Slash versus the Nyx. Double light. I imagine this one is going to be heavy when it comes to the fighting. Already, a lot of damage being traded between them both. Ron with the shotgun.
Oh no, he's
charging
missing
in.
everything.
What is this?
Cooler will actually come in with his own shotgun to clear up.
Yeah, but his is bigger and has 2 barrels.
A little bit.
Oh, that's rough. That is such a unfortunate start for Zron. You imagine he's going to be kicking himself. He's trying to get a couple of pot shots off back as well. He has stolen away that heavy, and this will frustrate Cooler. Nearly a minute gone. Cooler, of course, with that first frag, he's going to be flying high and going to be using that tempo to his advantage. Slows it down, though. He's going to be walking into his own death as there's a shotgun from Xron waiting to give back the favor.
Stopwatch.
To Cooler, snatches away the mega health, fires out the warning rocket and rails out as well. But he can't kill Cooler just yet.
No, nice play by Xron to set up early for that mega. Sure, he hits Cooler with a pretty much full rocket coming through, and he goes in aggressive here, but Cooler's air rocket!
Tide.
Was he out of ammo?
I'm not
Why did
quite
he swap
sure.
to the rail?
That was a bit bizarre.
It was amazing opening rockets from Cooler, but I can only presume he was out of ammo because Xron was able just to hit that fire rocket to finish him off.
Look at the amount of damage he's done from the distance there. Though. He is straight in, Cooler, with the speed on that one. Oh, turning the corner like an absolute lunatic.
We've talked about it in previous weeks, how powerful the speed of Slash can be against Nyx because of, once again, as tricky as she is, she still has limited maneuverability options compared to Slash. If you haven't got walls to get up and out of there, and you haven't got a Ghost Walk, you're often mincemeat. And this is exactly what Cooller's preying on at the minute. He's preying on the light stack of Xron, and every time Ghost Walk's not up, he's geeking me in his face.
Cooler. The issue is, when he starts off, really jumping to the beat this early on, that tempo normally doesn't slow down. It normally just gets quicker. And another frag is going straight that way as well. This is worrying. The tri-bolt comes out as he gets the connection down. I can see this really starting to snowball.
I can as well, and as much as Ron's done some good work in moments of stealing away items, he can't keep up with the pace that Cooller's putting on at the moment. And for every frag Cooler picks up, Xron hasn't got an answer. Cooler is looking good on the Slash.
He is looking very, very efficient. Wow, okay. LG, though, going to start to work back in the favor of Xron. This man is a little bit of a sniping superstar.
Nice.
The super shotgun as well is an effective switch as he'll prioritize that to put Cooler back down in the dirt. And he's still landing rails.
This is what he needs to do. The railgun has to be his lifeline. That and the rocket in and around defensive positions. But to get on the offense, I feel he needs to be using that railgun effectively.
Nearly 600 damage from Xron has been found with the railgun right now. He's so effective being able to ruin Cooler with it. That is absolutely amazing, though. Punishes him into the Ghost Walk to secure the heavy guaranteed. Stays alive, because otherwise he would have been so close to falling over if Cooler even sneezed near him. Now only one frag sets these two men apart.
We were worried early on, but Xron's done an amazing job of regrouping and adjusting.
He said he normally shows up for the harder games when he has an audience that he wants to impress. It's normally where he performs his best, and that's what he's doing here tonight, Dan. You're up against Cooler. You're going to want to give it your all. And he is swinging straight from the get-go. Unfortunately from him, he won't be breathing anymore. Stricken down by the LG as Cooler takes another frag in the advantage.
Good timing on the items. Cooller's a little bit weak, so it doesn't want to commit.
5 minute
Pick up a few
warning.
lights and we get onto the map. Has got timing on the Mega now. Also on that heavy.
Stopwatch.
She picks up, gets out more than comfortably.
Oh. Rapid rails coming through, both of them low, but Cooler. Oh, he's just
I've
out there
said
play
I
picking,
haven't
shooting.
seen Cooler play Slash before, but I don't think I've seen anyone play a quicker Slash than Cooler.
He's so speedy. He's like a young Tox in his prime.
Like, Cooler loves to keep pressure on, and this is a champion that enables that playstyle to the fullest. And we can see what he can make do with it, as that is a full rocket.
Everything's just hitting at the minute. The reads are so well timed as well. Over the edge with the rail. Can't quite connect those, but I don't think it will matter too much. He's already got a massive advantage, and he's looking to deny the major item control. Xron will pick it up, but Xron will surely tag. I mean, he's lucky he actually got away there. I thought he was going to have that cleanly chipped off him. Instead, he keeps the major item, but he's got to realize Coollerz is behind him as he sneak attacks him from behind. Coollerz, 1 HP, dies to the shotgun.
Oh, and there's full damage of the tri-bolt, and Xron manages to stay alive.
What is going on?
This map is crazy so far.
This is just pure madness between the two. We made you wait for this one for a reason. The level of aggression they're showing is just out of this world. Xron. Tri-bolt shots have been really quite something. 1 second until that heavy's up. It spawns in, he dives across to snatch it away. 4 seconds until until Mega is going to be replenished. There it is. Turns the corner with the LG in his hand. The rocket connection onto Coollerz will send him packing as he's got to get out of there. Looked for him through the grate, but doesn't fire the shot. Ooh.
Xron's doing an amazing job at the minute of keeping Coollerz off the items. In spite of Coollerz's speed, one would expect him to be able to sweep in and steal away the items, but Xron's making sure he's always getting, I guess, item side from Coollerz, so he's preventing that access point. That's a slight mistake in terms of execution, and Coollerz does sneak away with the frag, but there is plenty of time for Xron to get in position to at least deal damage onto this heavy.
Impressive.
Alright. Speedy stuff once again from Coollerz. He's got the frag lead, but can he keep it growing? Tri-bolt has been such a prevalent weapon for the both of them in this matchup so far. Coollerz
Could be able to go to what too. Well, at least has a backup, which he does.
Comes
Nice
out the
play.
ghost walk for the frag, and that one will guaranteed be his.
You can just wait this out, but
Stopwatch.
in a dangerous position.
Combo kill.
Nice!
Stopwatch.
It's still close, it's still competitive, and there's still a chance for Xron now, though. He's been able to really bring the game within an inch. Time will tell. We're heading towards the last 60 seconds of the matchup. Looks like he has an inkling of what Coollerz could potentially be up to. Slowly walking back over there. Will go for the heavy pickup, drop straight down for the Mega. He could have both major items for free if he wants to.
Tank.
Yeah, and this is his time to make a move. Obviously, Coollerz not going to be pushing out whatsoever. He's just going to use the speed of slash to get away, play the teleporter game. Xron's going to have to do something magical to catch Coollerz right now.
Xron knows where he is, but Slash is just so speedy. She is evading nicks at every given turn. Early Ghost Walk, this one, used aggressively to try and initiate. Goes around the corner.
Wow.
Both of them hitting the rockets, but it's Coollerz.
Oh.
Puts himself in for the win with the rocket damage.
Cooller's defensive rockets. Unbelievable. Well played to both players.
You win.
Man, that's one way to kick this series off on Blood Run. A run for their money. Both of them had to fight so tightly there to even secure the win. It looked like it was going to go either way.
I mean, overall, Xron had a substantial amount more control. Coollerz did more damage, but the way in which Xron was able to keep Coollerz at bay, playing around the item game far more effectively than Coollerz, despite the speed advantage that Coollerz had, was remarkable. Coollerz looked on fire in some of those engagements, though, and it was too much for Xron to handle.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the sheer effectiveness he had from his rockets, from the connections he was landing. just tracing him like a lunatic. Some of the flicks were absolutely ridiculous. He just looked on point, and he had that extra edge of the speed of the slash as well. When he needed to escape, he could. When he needed to initiate, he could. Sure, there's so much you can do with that Ghost Walk for Nyx, but you're limited at times. It's not like the consistent speed of a slash.
No, I really enjoyed watching his slash. It was something to behold. As you said, like a Toxinist Prime. Rafa plays it very similar. It truly enables Cooler to play the ultra-aggressive playstyle he so often wants to.
Yeah.
And when he was able to get that speed, get that momentum, and build a stack, Ron was in a lot of trouble, and he had to play out of his skin to stay alive a lot of the time. And we saw Cooler run away with a 4 or 5, 6 frag lead very early on, and we're both worried for Ron. So the way in which he was able to level that game for large portions of it was full credit to him. And once again, he showed up for the big game.
Oh, he did indeed.
But this is not someone we would say should be sitting down in the lower ranks of the leaderboard whatsoever after that performance.
No, especially not at rank 19 globally as well. It just doesn't ring true for how good Xron is. And I mean, the rough bit is obviously playing against someone like Cooler. It's not really a player that you can net a lot of easy points to push himself further up the standings. If anything, this is going to be a grueling fight the entire way through. So maybe there is something else up his sleeve here on Sarnath, but time will tell. If anything to go by, though, at least it should be a fun spectacle for us.
Sounds good. This is going to be an interesting one. I love to watch a scale bearer. I also love to watch Xron.
Fight.
Well, you are in for a treat as he has the Bull Rush Bad Man coming out instantly, starting to gather himself up a couple of weapons, gets the super shotgun, the LG, the last edition, to go into his repertoire. He knows the location of Cooler. You can hear him, dives around the corner with a rail. There is an instant turn from Cooler, though, to do damage, try and thwart the idea of Xron really pushing in overly aggressively, and Cooler is already hitting some sickeningly nice shots.
Cooler's setting up early for that mega. Ron trying to deal some damage, but skirts away with the heavy. Ron still needs a rocket, even though he is in the room. He's trying to set up a trap, but decides against it.
Xron. He wants the heavy. Seemed like Cooler was coming down, but instead he's stuck there towards the mega. They're both going to split major items at this point.
Cooler decides to delay. Only a few seconds, but it's enough.
What's going on? Doing an aggressive bull rush into the escape bull rush into the how am I even still alive bull rush as he gets out of there. Running away with his tail between his legs, and Cooler is just hunting him. Turns the corner to blow him to bits with a rail as he leaves Xron as a pile of dust.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Cooler decided there, but worked out in his benefit as Xron misses the rail. As you're right to say, he used a panic bull rush to get away, but wasn't enough to keep away from the visor.
Impressive.
Up the bounce pad, straight back down the bounce pad to zapping the life cleanly out of Xron there with the LG. Rocket they fight over. Oh, mega another bull rush straight into the wall, Dan.
Cooler used the double bounce to jump over his opponent. Oh, Xron, that was unfortunate.
Cooler looking to go down fired up after the pre-fire rockets. Had such a good idea of what was going on. Unfortunately, though, when it came down to the execution, Xron was able to peel out ahead. Both of them within an inch of their lives on like 9 HP a pop. But Cooler still gets the kill and the mega, and he's still landing these rockets. Look at the flicks.
Dear Lord. This is why watching Scalver is so fun, because you start with like 225 health and armor and you can just run and run at your opponent, so it becomes incredibly messy. Coollerz managed to settle it a little bit now. Oh, Coollerz rockets have just been ridiculous.
Ooh, the third bull rush, this one. No more effective than the other two were, but the rocket from Coollerz. I mean, again, how many times have we seen him on 3 HP?
Well, this is about to say, I think at least 3 of these frags could quite easily have gone Tron's way if Coollerz didn't hit multiple back-to-back direct rockets.
Impressive.
Oh dear, Xron's in a lot of trouble.
He's just so goddamn effective tonight at landing these shots one after another, blowing away his opponent with ease, going in with the LG, looking to try and put Xron to bed again. Oh no! The drop into the gauntlet.
Good night, Xron.
Was it needed? Was it necessary?
Oh no, that was no.
He's already dead, man. He's
Stopwatch.
already dead. Oh, absolutely disgraceful. Coollerz. He's giving it though.
Yeah, Coollerz looking good.
Impressive.
Good use of the piercing sight there to be able to know where Xron is coming. Taps in with the rail. And all of this chip damage is consistently leaving him so low that it's just so easy in every fight that Coollerz has to commit to be able to take him down. Coollerz. At least he actually got it off this time. You know what? He finds a frag with it.
This is chaos.
This really is quite a bit of madness. They're both just bouncing past each other. Xron's on the move. The splash damage, though, is horrendous from Coollerz.
Xron's just trying to get away, but Coollerz read him every single turn. That's the problem with the map like Ruins, is because it is so open. You can just feel like it's relentless sometimes.
There's just no room to breathe.
Exactly.
The rotation is so fast, you've always got to fight. And again, another ball rush. Luckily, putting him on enough of an elevated angle to get the rocket off and get to heavy, or else he would have had no stack whatsoever. It's still not amazing, but it's a damn sight better than what he would have had. Xron with the flick rails coming out to try and escape.
Yeah, he did escape and has picked up both major items, so that means he's extremely strong.
Oh,
I wouldn't count Xron out right now.
no. Didn't even stop for that one. He was primed and ready to be pushed by Coollerz and leaves him as a Coollerz sandwich. Sees him go through the porter. Already had the gauntlet out. He's hit 2 beautiful directs, so he's basically almost done for. And that'll be the LG finish as we're coming up to the
Nothing
7
more
minute mark.
terrifying than running away and hearing that bull rush stampede chasing you down.
Netmaster.
Nice. And Coollerz actually in a lot of trouble. Guys, Xron is stacked. And like I said, the pressure can be relentless, and Scale Bearer is fast.
He is
Xron's
damn
got a
close.
good split on the items as well. He's going to fall on to Coollerz here if he's not careful, but Coollerz, I think, maybe hears him, manages to get away.
Stopwatch.
We can see how much Coollerz slowed down the pace now. He's a little bit worried himself.
Well, he's got the heavy pickup. And he is on the chase. The Coollerz is doing such a good job of just wasting time. And that really is the recipe for success. If he can just evade and evade every single turn, Xron will
Oh, he hit
eventually
him!
be starved out. Lands the ball rush though. The rail is blissful, but he couldn't get the follow-up. He couldn't take him down, and that is going to be the major point. He knows to check for it though. Sees it.
Cooler.
Oh, he tracks him down, but he just can't kill him.
Coollerz tried to be stealthy, but by not taking the health, he also backpedals onto a time vial by accident. Gives away his position, and he's now caught off the spawn as well. Xron misses 2 rails though.
Straight over the eye.
Oh no!
Oh,
All falling apart.
it is crumbling. It is not great with how this has developed in the past couple of seconds.
1 minute
Now
warning.
you've only got 60 seconds left. Xron, he's been trying this entire time. He's been on 6 frags for so long. He just can't get any more picks.
If he can get a frag straight off the spawn here, if he forces it, which he does, did he hear Cooler? He's caught him.
Lands him in the back. Does a bit of damage. 30 seconds though, and it's basically moot at this point, as there's not going to be much of a chance here for Xron. The likelihood is so marginal.
Oh, and
Coollerz
Cooler.
just been running 24/7.
I mean, there were a couple of frags, as we said, in the early game. Desperately unlucky not to come away with the frag. I mean, all credit to Cooler, it was his excellence that really won him those engagements. And it was just too much, too far for Xron in the end, as he comes away with just
You lose.
the one frag loss in the most entertaining game I've seen in a while.
Man, it's crazy how tight it was. Literally a game full of twists and turns. This whole series already has just been a constant power struggle for who is going to be the one that's dominant.
Couldn't put it better. I mean, we said once again that Xron turns up to these big games. It's just one of this. My gut feeling is just, can't you just do this every week?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
please, because it's so good to watch when he's on form.
No, it is. He's damn effective. Some of the shots he were hitting were amazing. The only issue is you've got a Cooler that is definitely on form. He's fast, he's ferocious, he's fragging, he's moving around the map like a lunatic, he's landing these flick shots, and then he knew when to just consistently avoid any type of confrontation. Now, Scalebearer might be quick, but he wasn't fast enough to catch up with him, Dan.
I mean, it's really rare, and I generally can't remember the last time I saw Cooler on the rope so heavily, particularly when he had taken such a commanding lead in the first place. So, yeah, I mean, once again, Xron really pulled a lot out of the bag there, and he's unlucky to be 2 games down. But he definitely has a good chance on Blood Covenant, as we've said earlier in the day, something like the speed of the Anarchy against an Ison, you can have quite a big advantage. And so it is a good map for it as well. Blood Covenant, you can got a lot of open spaces, but that also means, as we've seen in the past, as the match crashes, there's also a lot of hiding spaces. So we could see Cooler on the ropes once again if it gets off to a good start.
Yeah, that is true. It's a curious case, this one, on Blood Covenant. I don't really know how I feel going into it. Eisen, as you said, it's a little bit more standard from Cooler. You know, that's not too outrageous. However, what anarchy can Anarchy cause? How much is he going to be a benefit for, of course, the main man, Xron? Speed was definitely an issue in the prior map, potentially this time, because he can actually catch up. There's not really much of a chance for the Eisen to evade him. I don't know if we're even going to get to that position, though. It could definitely be quite a rough affair. But this is the final map in the series. It's the last chance for Xron to attempt to secure any points. If he doesn't, it'll be a full 3-0 here for Cooler.
He deserves a map, so I'm gonna root for Xron.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely does. He's deserved a lot throughout this series, and he's put up a good fight. It's just been getting over that final hurdle each time.
Yeah, he's played very well. I think Anarchy's a tough pick to play well, but he's somebody that specializes in Anarchy, so it should be still quite comfortable in that regard.
Definitely home territory. By no means does that mean it is going to be easy ground for him. We are in, though. Let's see how this one will develop. Starting off on Cooler here. He'll be looking to try and chase down Xron early on. They split the major items one apiece. Cooler taking the heavies. Xron the mega. Xron gets the railgun, but he might not be alive long enough to even get a chance to fire off a shot with it, as he's being hit consistently here by Cooler. Oh, the shotgun round the corner. He has gone down, and that is the railgun stolen, and his life quickly eliminated.
Yeah, Cooler couldn't have wished for a better start. Essentially a free frag by Xron.
Turret goes down for the info as well to deny the potential pickup of the rail by Xron. Just spamming these nails out, bigger than ever now. As they eventually do a little bit of damage, just trying so hard to stop him from getting the rail.
Oh, Xron's going to use the speed to go in and catch his Cooler completely off guard and didn't take a single point of damage.
Ooh. Warning rail coming out from Xron. Also trying to provide potential rail pickup for Cooler. They fight over the heavy. I thought we were going to see the Russian space program there as Cooler nearly went flying over the edge. Instead, he turns it around and eliminates Xron. Both of them instantly with a lubbed tap onto each other as Cooler has 33 HP down.
Yeah, Cooler is struggling as Xron has no weapons, is the problem. Only a rail. Definitely needs more than that if he wants to pressure Cooler, as Cooler has everything to work with.
The issue is he has 5 rockets. Does at least have ammunition in the rest of his arsenal. When he starts to push back out, the near miss with the rails as they're whizzing straight by him. Going through the teleporter. Xron repositioned. They're both going to try and fight over control of the mega. I imagine it goes the way of Cooler. He had the high ground, he was closer to it, and he was able to force Xron back, doing a lot of chip damage to him as well to leave him fairly low. So now he can commit for the swing with the LG. Even though he's so close to death's door, he still comes out on top.
Yeah, nicely manipulated by Cooler in the preceding moments. Xron is able to get back and regroup, build himself a good stack, but doesn't have a rail just yet, which is crucial for him to battle Cooler.
Four minutes have gone by, and already this has been quite a fast-paced matchup here. Just a spam from the HMG, the rail shots are whizzing straight by him, he's narrowly avoiding them. Finally gets tagged by them, and that'll be the cue for Xron to commit for the kill.
Cooler delays his spawn as well, meaning he does get back onto the other side of the map. Oh, that's a lovely rocket by Xron.
Xron has the injection. He's bolstering himself as well with a light armor's picked up. He's right behind Cooler, turns the corner fast as you like, and will land the rocket to tie it. 3 kills apiece just as we hit the 5-minute mark. tri-bolt in his hand. Really a little bit panicked by everything that's going on. The fact there was a turret drop behind him, Cooler as well, swinging straight into his face. Xron had to get out of there. He's still alive, and that is the most important factor, especially when he gets a clutch mega and a beautiful rail to ruin Cooler.
You can see Coollerz actually really struggling with the speed that Anarchy has.
Yeah, there's been a couple of instances where I've gotten off guard ever so slightly.
Nice rocket jump by Fox.
Netmaster.
Swap your weapons, son.
Juice it up, baby. Ooh. Cooler will definitely go down again as long as Xron can actually connect the shot. Instead, it will just be the rocket. Cooler will walk back into it. It will blow him to smithereens. And it's a 2-frag lead for Xron, doing very well here. He wanted to take a map. It would be a feat still if he can.
What just happened?
How is he still alive? Why has Cooler not killed him? What on earth?
Xron just got entirely bemused by that whole situation.
I don't understand how he got away.
I mean, he lost all of his health just by standing there. He's out of rockets.
What is going on? Cooler finally with the kill from the super shotgun.
That was bizarre.
It really was. There's been some bad things occurring in this matchup, and there's still a couple minutes left between them both. It's Cooler trying to make his move back over towards the heavy. He'll spot out Xron on the bridge. Both of them in the battle of the LGs, zapping each other up. A direct rocket comes through as well. Got about 20 to 30 stack left. Damn, this is an awkward one.
This one's done an amazing job of doing so much damage, and Cooler risks getting the health. It does not pay off. And Xron now should be able to pick up this heavy relatively cleanly and misses the rail, which is unfortunate, but he will have to go back for it.
Oof. The boot with a rocket. Speed from Xron there. Oh man, if he would have hit that shot, it would have been absolutely outrageous with how fast he was going. Instead, he really needs to slow it down or else he could throw this one away. The jump shot's the one that connects them, but he goes down to Coollerz HMG. Dan, what on earth?
So greedy. If he swapped to HMG himself, he would have got the kill. There's a couple of times Ron's done that. He tried to go for the almost a flashy finish with the rail, and the simple weapon switch would have sufficed. But he still has the lead. He doesn't need to take these high-risk plays. Just hit a rail, get out. Oof. This map, HMG, is incredibly painful because of the wide open spaces.
There's been some absolutely miraculous things occurring. Some of the way the series has gone has just been mind-boggling. Now at this point, still 1 frag between them both, coming up to the last minute of the game as well. Cooler could definitely still come back into it, although Xron has other ideas in mind, namely rocketing him clean out of action.
Once again, Cooler not prepared for the speed of Anarchy to be in position for that move.
Impressive. Time.
Cooler is left licking his wounds from that rail. Xron, realizing he has the advantage, tries to push in to deal some more damage, but good on him on moving back when he misses the rail. And instead takes up a nice defensive position in and around the teleporter. Many axis, or defensive access points, should I say.
Xron.
That wasn't good.
No, that's not great whatsoever, but the only benefit he has is the fact that the frag needs to happen now or it's over. Unfortunately, with the distance they've got off the back of the spawns, Xron has been able to scrape by and win this one by the skin of his teeth, Dan. In the final map there on Blood Covenant, it will go the way of the Anarchy. Xron takes it, winning that map and leaving the series scoreline a 1-2 split.
Yeah, and the Anarchy was the right pick. It showed. We spoke about it much earlier in the day. Coming up against another champion that doesn't have anywhere near the utility or maneuverability or just overall skill set that you have, it's always a hard task. And Cooler found himself in a very difficult situation coming up against Anarchy. He was constantly under pressure from the speed of the Anarchy. Zom's positioning was great. He was getting in these distance fights earlier than Cooler was and dealing the first damage consistently. But even around that, Cooler was trying to be aggressive when he saw opportunities, but Ron's opening rockets were always good. He was reading Cooler well. So it's all credit to him. Like all series, he played some great Quake, and it was this map that went in his way.
Yeah, he did. He played tremendously. And I think it's fantastic to witness. Obviously, he was actually able to at least get one map because, as we said, it seemed like he deserved one. He played so well the whole way through. It all culminated there on Blood Covenant. Basically, it was very similar to what we had on Bloodrun as well, in the sense where he was just able to use that speed advantage, just such a high pedigree that it really gave him the extra tactical edge he needed. Now, moving on from this series, when we return after the break, we will be going into our fourth matchup of the night, which is going to be Sparty versus Wenger. You won't want to miss it. It's always a treat. We've got an Awoken matchup with them two later as well. That's going to be a banger. Tune in for that one after the break.